Good morning, everyone. Warm welcome to my YouTube channel, Making It in Austria. I'm your host, Adela. It's a rainy day in Vienna. It's a rainy week, actually, in Vienna. We are recording this on Friday, the 13th. What a great joy, right, Gina? And today I have always a very special guest, but this one is even more special. It's, I would say, the honorable founding member of the Making It in Austria community. And it's been about maybe now, Gina, 3 or 4 years when I told you about this idea. It was you, myself, and Martina Ernst. I also did an interview with her about the HR topic. So if you haven't looked at that one, check it out. We were talking about this great idea, and then you were all so happy for it. And you were like, yeah. And I remember Martina was saying, but you need a jingle, you need promotional, you need marketing, you need all bells and whistles so that people pay attention to it. And you said, yeah, just do it. Just do it. So Gina, I'm doing it for the last 3 years. It's actually 91st episode today with you. So warm welcome.
Adela, thank you so much for inviting me. I mean, 3 years, yes, but I have been your fan from day one. You were, for me, the networking queen even before being the networking queen in Austria, because you have such a special way of approaching people and you're so open. So the only thing I could do was support you. And the one doing it was you. So saying it, a lot of people can say things, but you do things. So thank you for inviting me. I listened to many of your episodes because I know some of your people, and you created a very valuable network. And I think it helps many people who would like to make a career in Austria or just pursue in Austria. So thank you for doing this. Yeah, my name is Gina. And I'm not only a fan of you, but a fan of many things. So I do many things. I founded my own company, Kaleido-Begegnung, but I'm also co-founder of an association. And I founded it with Yvonne Poul together. She is my co-founder, so to say, and it's called Madita. And it's all about strengthening women and women's communities and also educational projects. So it's a very heartwarming project for the two of us who would like to support women in their growing and in their personality.
Beautiful. For the ones who don't know Yvonne, Yvonne is currently on vacation. So hi, Yvonne. I know you're going to be watching this. So enjoy your holidays. There's a special connection from me and with Yvonne. So we did an MBA together. I mean, we did the MBA, the same MBA, where I know Gina from the Very Executive Academy. And I remember Yvonne because she wrote me back then while she was still employed to do a workshop on starting your network. It was online back then. It was 2021. And that was when I was before giving a birth to my daughter. And that was around the due date. And then it was Stephanie Yvonne, and Stephanie Jacobi, who is doing amazing things for women in cybersecurity. And they were like betting on me that I do this and that I'm not in a hospital or I'm not giving a birth. So they were like, and I was so like, oh my God, why did I do this? Why did I promise to do this? Of course I wanted to do it, but it was such a tight timeline. I was like, oh, what if this doesn't work out? So yeah, so Yvonne was very generous to me back then when I was on my mission to impacting 1,000 women in IT, where I was sharing my career story. And she picked it up and came to me and said, would you like to do this for us, for women in IT and cybersecurity back then? So yeah, there's always great people support great people, and we always find ways to support one another. And what came across in the recent episode with Alion, He's founder of this International. So it's a magazine or medium for expats. It's all done in English so that people who don't speak German in Austria can consume very important news in their language. And we talked about, competition, it's like, some people told him like, oh, you're going on her channel, you might be competitors to one another. And we don't see that way. We don't see it that way. We see it as a way of partnership, as a way of amplifying the work of one another. And we see it as a way, to support one another, to cross the different channels, because we all do it because we believe in it. So it's not something that we have all started, like yourself and Yvonne. You started this because you truly believe in it and you live it. And I started this because I wanted to bring more stories to people that might not, from people that are doing great things, but they are not out there and should be. And people that want to hear the other stories of, other ways and possibilities. And everyone else, I interviewed many, many different people from other networks as well. We have a common, I would say, a common goal, a common vision that we want to make, life of people in Austria for everyone accessible, enjoyable, and fruitful, and that everybody feels included, and that, we are on the same page. Basically, we're on the same page. There's no time and no room for competition. It's time for, do a lot of great things, because there are so many opportunities where we can tackle it together. This brings me to you, Gina, to all these great activities that you do. I mean, people tell me I do a lot of things and many things, but you do a lot of great and good and many things, and you do enjoy it, and you do make people aware of your project. People read what you post, what you write. It has sin and meaning and purpose. So how did you come to how did it all come together, or like how did it all started, and what of those things would you like maybe to present to the community and share with us, how they can get involved, and where they can read about it more, and so on?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I would like to pick it up from you, because you said you are connected with Yvonne through your MBA. But I think I would like to mention here that I think we are all connected in some way. And at the time when you told me about your mission, reaching 1,000 people, I supported you as much as I could, right? And you know what? When I started with this, I mean, we started with the Circle of Joy, not with Madita. I will come back to that later. It was like that I had such a great feeling experiencing the coming together of people, that I wanted that more people have the same feeling, so it was about sharing what I experienced with other people. Like you had a good experience and you wanted that more people have a good experience. And I supported you. And then I had this vision, so to say. And Yvonne, you know what she said? She said, you know what? I do the flyer. And this is how it all started. So you have more in common with Yvonne, except your MBA. You also have this, okay, we do it in common. Yeah, you are a doer, she's a doer. And, this is what I mean. I didn't do it. I didn't support you because I wanted to have something back. I just supported you because I thought, this is so great, your mission, why you're doing it. I support you. And then another person comes around and supports me without, it's like we are all in this together. And this is what you mentioned before. We are not against each other. We are for each other. And this is what makes, I think, your community special, and also our community special, and where it all comes together. So thank you.
It's a great promotion for the Entrepreneurship and Innovation program, where because that's the doers, right? I mean, sorry, Barbara, sorry, marketing team.
The doers, yes.
We are the
Yes,
entrepreneurship and innovation people is the doers. You're just like,
that's
okay,
true.
let's try it out. It doesn't cost me. What I was thinking about the YouTube channel, nowadays, of course, it costs your time and your ideas
Yes.
and so on, but I don't have to get any financial investment up front. I already have, laptop and phone and all these
Yeah,
things. You
just do
try it
it.
out. You do
Yeah.
it. It's a minimum, as we say, minimum viable product. So you just do it, and then you feel, and there's no this kind of end goal or like in mind, in a sense. I want to, of course, we want to have these rational goals. I want to do many episodes and this and that. I want to interview these people and so on. But as long as it brings something and it brings joy, it's like, for me, it's every episode is special. Every time I spend is special. So every conversation, every lunch later on, or coffee to go, and all these experiences that we have together, because this is one of the experience. And then when we meet, we have another experience, and then another experience, and then when they come together as a community, there's another experience, and then it bonds people, and it brings people, I think, as your circle of joy. But this community of making it in Austria, what they tell me, it brings them together.
Yes.
Because
And
they
this is
come together and they don't feel different.
exactly.
That's the thing.
That's the point. Yes. So how did it all start? I've been in the View Executive Academy working with executives and with managers for like more than 15 years, supporting them to pursue in their career. And one day, it has been in me for a very long time, but one day the question raising in me was so loud that I couldn't do different than stopping and reflecting and see, okay, what's there? What wants to be heard? And it was that I've done enough of supporting people who have a lot, sorry to say, but people, executives have a career, an MBA, a university degree, a position, everything. And there are other people who might not have a job, meaning something. And I worked with kids back in Brazil, and it was very fulfilling for me. And then after, reading books, reflecting on myself, journaling, everything, I came to the conclusion that I would like to work with the younger generation, with kids and teenagers. And yeah, I switched to Viktor Frankl. I did 3 years of Viktor Frankl, and I'm now psychological consultant. So I switched from the executives to kids and teenagers. And I'm now working more in schools than in universities. So I'm doing school projects and everything. And it's actually about positive psychology, and it's about entrepreneurship education and about inner leadership. So quite soft skill topics we need for the 21st century. And yeah, one of my stations was I worked with Ali Malocci with Future One, and they invited Rachel Chanty. She's a singer. She was touring with Celine Dion, and they invited her for a team building event. And this was magic for me. Like the way we were connected, we were only a smaller team, but the way we connected on that day and the way I got to know the other people in this room, although I worked with them for a year already, and the way I felt after this happening, after this team building, was amazing. It was so amazing. And then I came out and I said, well, I want to do this, and I want that as many women as possible, because I always had the feeling that if women come together and do something together for a greater cause, this will be such a powerful energy, that I had this vision and I had this dream, like a stadium full of women singing together with women in the world. So I had this, and I was sharing this with Rachel, and Rachel said, yeah, let's do this. And I was like, what? Are you serious? And she said, yeah, let's do this. I said, oh, okay. And then I shared it with Yvonne, the idea, and she said, you know what? I do the flyer. And I was like, okay. So, well,
way back.
yeah, no way back. And maybe alone it would have only been, you know, in my head. But then with these two ladies, and they were like, okay, what now? Yeah, we just started. We just started, and it was quite funny because it was very difficult to find a location for free because we had no money and everything. So, and I did like, I don't know how many calls, and yeah, it didn't work out. And then we said, okay, if we don't have a location until 1st of February, we have to cancel the whole thing because the date was in our mind was fixed one day before the Women's Day. And then really on February 1st, Yvonne was the one finding a location at the Lycée Français, and really like in a Hollywood blockbuster on the last day, we found this location and he gave it to us for free at the first time. And then we had 1 month to go to invite people, and nobody understood what we will do there. So we created this circle of joy. Yeah. And what is it about? So the women in Vienna, they come together and they sing for the women who cannot raise their voice, or who cannot even name or say their opinion. And there are many women in the world who cannot, you know, who are not allowed to raise their voice, or who are not allowed to speak up, who are, who have no rights. I'm getting goosebumps again. No rights at all. So we are very lucky here in Europe, or in Vienna, in Austria, so to say. But there are many who are not, either in families or in businesses, or with their, husbands, bosses. So there are various reasons why women cannot speak up. And we wanted to create a space where women get together and sing for themselves, because we never sing for ourselves. We never raise our voice for ourselves, where we raise our voice for the women next to us. Doesn't matter where she's from or what is she about. And where we all together raise our voice for the women who are not present, but who cannot do anything. And this is the circle of joy we created. And the first time we had 80 women coming. So we managed in 1 month, 80 women who came, and those were their first movers, so to say. They were like, I come, I don't know what to expect, but I come, because we had no photo, no video, nothing. And 80 women came, and we were very lucky and very happy. And it was already a very great energy, and we felt this connectedness. And then a few months later, we had 130 people. So we did it twice a year. And this year in March, we did it for the 3rd time. And we had 240 seats and 250 women coming together, with 50 women on the waiting list. So it was a huge event. You were there, Adela. Thank you for joining. And I mean, if so many women get together and have a common cause, right? The energy, it was, I mean, I expected something when I had this vision in my mind, but I could never expect the feeling and the emotion which happens to me, but also to all the other ladies. It was, and the women told me afterwards, many women told me, and also Yvonne, they were like in flowing, and they had such good energy. And so
I can confirm. And I didn't do, and maybe I did only one picture just to have it, because usually when you have great experiences, you don't take pictures, right? It's like one, like, I forgot all the big, let me do one for, and there was one of the songs behind it, so I wanted to have the text, but it was really being there. Just being present as much as possible. And that, with closing your eyes, it has a special, it's very special. It's very special. And, you know, like, because you then have to turn inside within yourself. So you're not staring whatever around you, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable, because we are not used to it, to, you know, dance, as you said, dance and sing and all that. Like, what's happening with that? If you see someone singing on the street, you will say, okay, what's with that person? Usually it's not like, let me join, but it's like, so there's this, you did so many, you put the you created such a special place in the opportunity for everyone to be themselves, you know, to really tune in within themselves and then to connect with each other. And then, you know, the Rochelle is just unbelievable, you know, just like the way she sings and the way she, you know, takes whole stage with herself. It's just, it's insane. It's the next level. So she just stands there and that's it. She doesn't have to do anything. She just stands.
Yes, she's, I don't know, she is.
Yeah. She has energy from the outer space, or from
exactly.
Very divine energy and very, she's very feminine. She's very, very, very feminine. So you can feel it, and then it's a really special. It's what you did. It's a very number of people, but it's really brings everyone together. So I think that's so important, that everybody feels connected over there. Everybody feels heard. Everybody feels special after that. I think that's important. You feel like, oh, you went to another place. You were there physically next to, but I think you transcend to some other spheres and some other places than just being there.
And what we experienced the last time was, I mean, one of our colleagues, she called it, it's the meta event for women's networks, because you know how it is also in business, but also with some networks, it's all about, you know, these rational things, how many numbers, members, money, why, what is your purpose, why are you in this network, not in that, and why do you get this position, not me. It's still, if we're women, sometimes it's like that, you know. And there, it doesn't matter if you know someone, where you're coming from. We are there. Everyone is there for a greater cause. We are there to connect, to raise our voice for those who cannot. And it's really of togetherness. And the 11-year-old child with the 75-year-old grandma in the middle, the housewife, the mother, the single mom, the no mom, no kids, CEO, blue collar worker. So all the cultures, everyone is there, and it doesn't matter. It's just being together and standing up for something that is much bigger than those little things we're sometimes fighting against. And this is the whole thing we would like to bring, that people, women experience this, and they take this feeling and bring it back to their families, to their communities, to their businesses, because we think this is the new era, the new way of living. Doesn't matter if it's in business or in families or something. We have so many challenges, and it's only possible together, really together. And this is about the circle of joy, and
it brings a lot of joy. So you and I are talking, and we have a lot of joy. So what's your plan for the next year?
It's a big one. So we really got the Gartenbaukino. I mean, you know, you live for a long time in Vienna, and you know it's a very traditional place, and you only get it when you have some special things. So not everyone gets the Gartenbaukino, and it's huge.
We did.
We did. Yeah, so we have 700.
I put a sticker. Seats. This belongs. Gartenbaukino belongs to me for this day. So thank you. We made it in Austria, people. We got the Gartenbaukino for us for a whole day.
So it's 700 seats. Wow. So when I'm trying to imagine if there would be like more than 250, let's say, like last time, the voices, it's even hard to imagine. So we will be there, and the idea is that we also try to connect, that we also connect with women's associations around the world. So we sing together with other countries. We don't know yet how to do it. So if someone of your community, Adela, has some technical ideas how we can manage this in a cinema, with back and forth and sound and, few seconds back, how we can sing together, please let us know. This is still something we're working on, or we're thinking about. So
it's to go to the women in ICT community, Gina.
I guess
we will have to go there as well.
Yes.
We will have to knock their doors and say, help us.
Yes. Yeah. Help us, please. Yeah. So it's directly on Women's Day. So it's a Saturday. And it's in the morning. So we start at 10 and we will start with a podcast interview with Rachel. So to get to know her a little more, and then we do our circle. And yeah, we're very much looking forward to this one. And besides this, with Madita, we do also some nice projects. Yeah, so we do for kids and young women, and also for the older community, we do workshops to strengthen their strengths. And to strengthen their personalities, and to bring them also some joy and some encounters and some talks, because we believe if you have one person to talk to and one person who believes in yourself, then life is much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will do something special with Gina and Yvonne very soon, before the end of the year, for the Making It in Austria community.
Yes.
I'll just say the flowers and leadership. So you have to figure it out in between how special it's going to be, but it's going to be very special for the end of the year. And yes, we all deserve a few hours of time by the end of the year to just really go through it. I still remember Gina, from this very executive academy, when we had this graduation. Johanna was when I was graduating, Johanna Hoffmann. And then I remember the exercise, she was asking us all to get up, stand up, and then do this to ourselves. And yes, so we all do need to do that every now and then to ourselves when we feel like, we need it. It warms up, it feels good. And even though everybody around is forgetting that, then you feel like, nobody sees it, but you see yourself and you feel yourself. And I think that's a really nice exercise. I remember that from the whole speech, that was the powerful one, where we just take the time to feel ourselves, really. So, and do something nice.
Yeah, and at the very beginning, you said it doesn't cost me much, it only costs my time. And I think time is one of the most valuable things we have. And we never, or very seldom, take the time for ourselves to say, okay, what we only look in the front, what we did not achieve, but we very, very rarely take the time to sit with ourselves and say, okay, what went well, or who am I? So what we can give us as a present to take the time for ourselves. And if you are so nice to organize those things, I mean, this is a present we can give each other or ourselves at the end of the year. A little bit of time, not to go to a Christmas party and celebrate the achievements of a company. Of course, that's also, we need to do this because this pays our bills. But also at the end of the year, maybe sit and look, okay, what's there in me? Yeah. So it's a nice plate you offer, I would say, for your community. And it's the most valuable thing, right? The time.
I agree. And I told you that I was doing this panel on networking, strategic networking, beginning of this week. And the main question about networking was the time. So there was this menti, and then they were asking, so what does it stop you? From you are active, but it was the time. It was like appearing from 30 responses, it was probably over 60-70%. And what I told them is consciously, really consciously, because that of course we have all the time, everybody. So I'm better, maybe they tell me I'm efficient in scheduling things. I do it, I don't wait for later. But I think this consciously, where you say, like, I want to do this, I want to put my time into this, like, it's really conscious. So it's bewusst that you say, okay,
Yes.
I'll take the time because this matters to me. And then some other things will have to fall down, and I might skip some things in my life, but I go to the places that bring joy, as you said, that make me alive, that I see it creates impact on other people, that supports other people in their life and goals, be it finding a new job, finding a friend, looking for another great event, or just going for a coffee with someone and talking about some other things, or that, on our plate. It matters. I think it's just we have to really, the environment is busy and very loud, and
Yes.
this we need to get into ourselves really consciously and take our time, that we see, okay, what is in me that will matter in some 5-10 years.
Exactly.
Is it, I had my years when I was shopping like crazy, but that has a reason for it, where I was spending most of my time. I was not focusing on this. I was focusing, like, I was shopping every weekend, or I was doing brunches every weekend, but that was different to me. So I was going through a different phase. I was rediscovering myself. I was new in Vienna. I was trying to do a lot of things on the paper, that's like very, very important. And I do not regret about it. Like it's part of my life, and I cherish those moments. Might be doing differently now, but it was back then that, and now it's something different. And then everybody has to tune in and see when this inspiration, as you said, when things they want to get out of you. You cannot stop it anymore. I think everybody has to feel this moment where it's not possible to go back.
Exactly.
I mean, and everybody has their own time. I mean, what worked for you, for me, for Yvonne, or for anyone else might be a different timeline for someone else. That just maybe in the next week or next month or so. That's the hard part. I think that's the hard part about life. And I'll close with this, philosophical, but the timeline, like, okay, why is not happening to me? Why all things are happening to someone else and not happening to me? It's like this, like, not being able to, even though if we tend to put so much time and effort, not making it as we would like it. And there's something divine into it, that it's not all in our hands, even though we think it's all in our hands.
Yeah, that's true.
That's life. Gina,
yeah,
before we wrap up, just one more thing, because we don't have much time and we can stay for 2 days, I'm sure. I was just curious, you worked with the executives and then you moved to kids and teenagers. So what is the one thing, or like many things, as you say, that's a big difference. That's a very different, it's like what we executives and the kids and teenagers see the world or life around them, or in general.
Of course, it depends on the age. Yeah, but when the kids work in primary school very often, so kids are still with themselves. They know their strengths and they are proud to tell them. So with us, with the executives or with us adults, it's still, or very often, very difficult to talk about it, especially in our generation. And what the second thing is, they are very honest. So you get immediate feedback. So they either like what you are doing and then they are telling you, or they don't like what you are doing and they tell you. And there's nothing in the back, Like sometimes in the Executive Academy, you do a workshop and everyone says, yeah, it's nice. And then you get the written feedback and it's like a disaster. And you're like, what? Why did nobody tell me? But with the kids, they say, ich mag das nicht. Yeah. So it's honest, direct, and just alive. And I love that.
Ours
Even
is
sometimes hard, but I love it.
True. Ours is, Esma is 3.5 now, and she says, das mag ich nicht. Mama, das mag ich nicht.
Yeah.
And
Nein, or just
will
nein.
ich nicht. Nein, will ich
Nein.
nicht. Fällt mir nicht, mag ich nicht, and that's it. I have to live with it, and it was not the moment. So maybe she doesn't want to, you know, cuddle with me at that point of time. She's busy sorting out her toys and whatnot, and then she's like, oh, das mag ich nicht. And I like it, I respect it. I said,
exactly,
sorry.
Exactly.
I'll do better next time. Yeah, it's just a new generation. My generation would be like, I'm your mom, so you have to accept everything. That was my generation. So like it's your parent, you know, they kind of own you. Like it's you have to, but with the new generation, it's like, okay, then I'll rethink my approach. Gina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you, Adela.
Thank you.
So nice. Thank you
so
for doing everything you're doing. It's just great.
Thank you.
And stay the doer.
The doer.
I love that. I love that. You're the doer.
I'm the doer. That's good. It's always good to have compliments, right? So some do like visionary doers, this and that. So we have different roles, and it's good when we find that circle where we can do our best, because we cannot be everything. We don't have to be, actually. So for the doer, Yvonne, we missed you. We'll try to do it with you next time. We missed you a lot. Keep doing.
But you will see her on the picture.
I'll see her. Yeah, Yvonne will show up on the picture for this announcement of this video. Gina, thank you so much for today. For everyone, you've got a lot of information. I'll pick up some of the important links. Please do register for the next 8th of March next year.
Yes.
It's going to be, every year is special, but this one with 700. Imagine all 700 women singing together. It's going to be amazing. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I'll keep up bringing more stories, and we keep in touch. Have a nice day.
We do. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.